So I started this off with a slideshow of previous mermaids I'd done. And we had the Surf the Sea Witch. Yeah. That was just a good excuse to do it.
That was a nice one.
Yeah. We got stickers of a lot of these.
You've done a lot of good mermaids.
I like doing mermaids. Sometimes I do whole scenes, sometimes just characters. So I wanted to showcase that a little bit first, just to show that other years I would do a mermaid, like, every day.
Mime fish.
Yeah. And I like doing them, but this year I have too many other things going on. And thankfully, you were there to help me out.
Yeah.
So the jellyfish ballerina, you decided to animate.
Yes. There was... I've been learning some basic animation in After Effects. So I took some of your art and I took different pieces so that they could move. So with the jellyfish, the most important piece I thought was the tendrils. They should move in the waves. But the rest of it, like, jellyfish don't typically move that much. So the rest of it was going to be, like, scenic movement, just to...
And she needed to stay graceful because of the ballerina.
Right.
So you started with just this image.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is moving.
I put in some light beams from the surface, and I made your bubbles float up through. So you can see it's just made the tendrils just kind of wave in the water, and a nice little back and forth loop, so it can go over and over.
I do appreciate that it's a loop. And
all these little ones I've been doing for us and others, I've been putting on a loop. Like social media videos will just autoplay on a loop, so this way it's nice and smooth, there's no jarring like a cut. The bubbles move at different speed.
And then I added sound. So you also did the deep Sea Mermaid.
This one was hard because the way you did layers was different.
Well, because here's the original where it was just done with marker.
Right.
So it was literally just this. And then I took this and fed it into the computer, scanned it in, digitally did color on top of it, which did make it, like, almost in reverse. And so, yeah, you noticed. And you worked with it, and it's so good that you worked with it.
There was some deconstruction we had. Like, you had the Photoshop files. So it's not like I was working from scratch. I just had... The layers were different than the way I typically do just digital art, like, as digital art, because you had started with an actual drawing.
Right.
So you were kind of drawing the art on top of that. But what we did is we made the eyeball the light source. We made the eyeball move around and also flare up and add highlights to the deep sea mermaid, so who otherwise just kind of like fades into the back.
Yeah, so it's interacting with itself.
Yeah.
Which I like a lot. And then I also added sound.
Amazing. I like how she just becomes like the vaguest of, not even silhouettes, but she's just implied to be there, and the lights, the amount of light from the background shines through. So I don't know if you've ever been like, if you've ever gone looking for, creatures below a certain depth, but they just sort of like fucking appear.
Yeah.
Like they just fade into the basic like dark coloration of the ocean so fucking fast.
Yeah.
So I kind of tried to imply that by leaving her silhouette up.
Mermaid on Vacation was probably complicated.
Yeah, it's a good one though, because there's it's not your typical mermaid scene. So I was looking forward to getting in there and giving a little bit of I don't like saying giving life to it, but giving it a little bit of movement.
Giving life, animating, literally.
Yeah, but this is an amazing drawing.
Oh,
I don't want to take anything away from your drawings. This in its own would be amazing. I just tried to make some stuff wiggle.
Yeah.
And I did do experiment, because this was the first one where I started to like paper doll stuff.
Yeah.
And attach it at joints. Varied effects on that. Also, I know you had trouble seeing it, but I had to expand out the tree, because obviously the sides of the tree were not part of the original.
No.
And you had a fun idea with the orange that drops behind her, because she's reaching so hard for that one, but she misses the one that just falls to the ground that you could just scoop up. You made a whole other metaphor on top of.
And the sound was really simple, because it was just going to be the wind and then the plop.
It's like finding the right kind of thump is the headachy part.
Right.
And this one is probably your most popular.
The little gull maid.
Little gull maid.
So this is what you're working with. It's just... It's obvious what it is fan art of.
Yes, there's a reference occurring, but I don't think she's gonna marry the prince.
No, I don't think she has any interest in the prince. Maybe she has interest in the seagull.
Although seeing the entire movie with the gull maid inserted, when he was like, look at her, she's beautiful. She's just like eating trash on the boardwalk.
Oh, absolutely. Pecking at people.
Stealing French fries.
And I gave her a little bit
yelling.
more she's an older Little Mermaid.
You gave her an adult body, which is fine, because
Yeah.
she's 15 in the movie.
Something like that.
Yeah, once you move past a certain age, you kind of gotta have to change the Disney character protagonist to still connect. Like, the, Daddy, I love him. She'd, like, as a 15-year-old, like, yeah, love is love. And now as an adult, you're like, you don't fucking know him.
Yeah, no. You made the head move.
I did make the
that couldn't
head
have been
move.
easy.
There's a lot of different layers, because behind, there's the inside of the beak, top and bottom. There's the top of the head, which is operating on its own hinge. And then I also had to, like, re-snip the head so that when it was, like, closed and open, that it wouldn't overlap in weird ways.
Yeah.
And I really like the way I did the waves. I just love the way those waves just, like, you can see that there's ocean there, and then it's just the scene.
That's why when I did the sound, I added different layers of crashing waves.
Yeah. The dead, vacant eyes.
Thank you for helping me.
Thank you for letting me take your art and do this with it. I appreciate that you have a good sense of humor about all of this, and that you enjoy it so much.
Maybe we can do a better collab next MerMay. Like a more, I don't know, intricate collab.
And this is where we stick in that there's a YouTube channel where I animate stuff.
Oh, we could do some kind of a, like, Tuscan meets a mermaid. That could be our MerMay.
It could be, yeah.
That could be fun. And yeah, I will link in the description below to Tuscan's Tales.
Or we could do a variety of animated mermaids that are also like NPCs or monsters, and have them all have an animated icon and stuff. It could be.
You should do something about the deep sea mermaid.
Yeah.
I give you permission. Any bizarre thing that's not attached to any other thing I've ever done, please use in Tuscan's Tales.
Oh yeah.
Feel free. Just grab them. Grab them and go.
Oh yeah. I've got to amp up my. Right now, we're starting off at a more relaxed pace. I'm not trying to create more than 2 asset sheets a month with it, but later on, I'm sure we'll have to hit fast forward on that if the Patreon takes off. Like, that pace will have to increase. So we'll do that.
Yeah. Rock on.
Right on. I love you.
Love you too.